I didn't know the details, but I didn't need them. What mattered was this. Greg was not only careless with women, he was careless with information. And in the finance world, a misplaced whisper could topple careers. I filed it away. Revenge required patience. I couldn't storm into his office or confront his wife again. That would only make me look unstable. No, I had to be strategic. Invisible. I started with myself. I dyed my hair back to its natural brunette, no brighter blonde that Greg had once praised. I changed my wardrobe, shifting from soft pastels to sharp blacks and deep reds. My best friend Laura noticed the shift and asked if I was okay. I'm better than okay, I told her. I'm evolving. She didn't press. I joined a new gym, not the one Greg used, but one across town that catered to ambitious professionals. I networked. I made friends. I sharpened myself into someone who could enter his world without suspicion. At night, I wrote in my journal not about love or heartbreak, but about strategy. Every entry ended with the same sentence. Greg will regret the day he met me. Through social media stalking, I discovered Greg's wife was heavily involved in a women's charity organization. I attended one of their public events, slipping into the crowd of donors and volunteers. I didn't approach her directly. Instead, I introduced myself to her acquaintances, laughed in the right places, and played the role of the sweet, charming newcomer. Melissa's circle welcomed me faster than I expected. Within weeks, I was attending luncheons, fundraisers, and workshops. I kept my eyes and ears open, collecting information about her, about Greg, about their marriage. The cracks began to show. Melissa confided in her friends that Greg had been distant, working late, taking mysterious trips. She brushed it off as career stress, but I could see the suspicion flickering in her eyes. Perfect. I didn't need to expose Greg outright. His own wife's doubts would be the spark. I only needed to fan the flames. The opportunity came in the form of an anonymous tip. I created a new email address, encrypted and untraceable. The message was simple. Your husband isn't who you think he is. Ask him about the woman at the gym. Ask him about the conference in Miami. Ask him about me. I hit send and sat back, heart pounding. That night, I imagined Greg's face when Melissa confronted him. The panic in his eyes. The stammering lies. For the first time since our disastrous date, I felt powerful again. But this was only the beginning. Greg had taken something from me. My trust, my laughter, my time. I was going to take something from him in return. Not just his marriage. Not just his reputation. I was going to dismantle his entire world, piece by piece, until there was nothing left of the man who once thought he could play me. And the best part, he wouldn't even see me coming. The morning after I sent the anonymous email, I woke with a strange calm. The storm inside me had quieted, replaced by the steady hum of purpose. I made coffee, sat by the window, and pictured Greg's face when Melissa asked him the questions I had planted. The game had begun. It took less than a week for signs to appear. On social media, Melissa's once polished and perfect photos grew tense. Smiles that didn't reach her eyes. Captions about trust and partnership that felt brittle, as if they might shatter at a single touch. I watched from the sidelines, savoring every post, every whisper of discord. Through the charity circle, I heard that Melissa had confronted him, and Greg, true to form, had denied everything. He painted himself as the misunderstood husband, overworked, underappreciated. But Melissa wasn't convinced. I could tell, and that doubt was my opening. One voice can be ignored, but a chorus? That's impossible. I created 3 more anonymous email addresses, each with a different tone. One was sharp and angry, as if from a scorned mistress. Another was hesitant, like a woman unsure if she should speak up. The third was cruelly factual, listing dates and places where Greg had been unfaithful. I staggered the messages, sending them at odd hours. Each one a tiny dagger into Melissa's heart, each one widening the crack between them. At the same time, I began my whisper campaign among Melissa's friends. At luncheons, I would tilt my head and sigh softly when Greg's name came up. He's so charming, isn't he? Almost too charming. I never said more than that. But the suggestion lingered in the air like smoke. Women know. They read between the lines. They tucked my words away, connecting them with the late nights, the evasive answers, the strained smiles. Soon, the whispers spread without me lifting a finger.